from what I can see so far.
One bit of good news here, that storm surge that they were expecting from Hurricane Laura here in Lake Charles, which they predicted could have been as high as 9 feet in some spots, just never materialized. And that's good news because it means the cleanup can begin sooner rather than having to wait for that water to recede. In Lake Charles, Louisiana, I'm Maya Rodriguez reporting.
And President Donald Trump has announced that he will visit Texas and Louisiana to survey the destruction caused by Laura. That visit will take place this Saturday and Sunday. Now, it is still not known if Hurricane Laura is to blame for this inferno near Lake Charles. A fire broke out this morning at a chemical plant that makes chlorine for swimming pools. Fire crews had some difficulty trying to get to the scene because many roads are blocked by fallen trees and other storm debris. No injuries have been reported. And it may be several days before we know the extent of the damage caused by Hurricane Laura. Here's one shocking figure, though. Nearly 1 million people in Texas, Louisiana, and Arkansas are without power tonight. But the rebuild and recovery has begun, and some Coastal Bend residents are on the front line of this effort. Our Javier Guerra continues our team coverage with that part of the story.
3 years ago, the Coastal Bend was devastated by Hurricane Harvey. After the storm rolled by, several agencies from across the country came to help us rebuild. That is the mission once again. Hurricane Laura pounded parts of Louisiana, Arkansas, and southeast Texas. The area around Lake Charles, Louisiana was hit the hardest. This hurricane season, the American Red Cross Coastal Bend chapter has volunteers in East Texas waiting to assess damages. Fernando Fernandez is in Lufkin, Texas, and says volunteers are greatly needed.
It's very important, very, very important, because without the volunteers, the Red Cross wouldn't function at all. About 85% of people for the Red Cross are volunteers.
AEP is sending around 340 personnel to help with the aftermath of Laura. The Corpus Christi Fire Department has deployed 9 firefighters to help with mobile hospitals in Texas. Robstown Emergency Medical Services also sent 2 of their own to help those affected by the storm. Hurricane season is not over and is about to reach its peak. Officials urge residents to stay vigilant and always have an emergency evacuation plan available. In Corpus Christi, Javier Guerra, Chris 6 News.
And many of those volunteers will stay at staging areas until it is safe for them to go into the disaster zone. It is not known how long they're going to be there. And we do have some new information tonight about the surfer who was killed at the Packery Channel jetties yesterday. He's been identified as 25-year-old Clark Perkins. He was from Connecticut. Perkins was slammed into the jetties by the large waves that Laura caused here at home. Now, despite that, Perkins' death is not being counted as a Laura-related death. According to the medical examiner, Perkins died of severe injuries to the head and body. Perkins was a Marine and a student aviator at NAS Corpus Christi. Area beaches were trashed by Hurricane Hannah just over a month ago. We did not take a direct hit from Laura, but she did have an impact. Unlike Hannah, it didn't leave anything behind. Instead, she took away a lot. Our Greg Chandler joins us now live from the island with that part of the team coverage. Greg?
Well, Katya, the beaches held up well last night. I'm in roughly the same place as I was 24 hours ago. You may remember what it looked like then. Water everywhere coming up to the dune line. Now the water isn't here and the sand is all hard packed, perfect for driving. However, it's the dune system which needs lots of help. Less than 24 hours after the storm, crews were out cleaning Padre Island beaches. Hurricane Laura failed to bring the unsurvivable storm surge to Louisiana forecasters predicted. That doesn't mean our beaches were spared damage.
Unfortunately, a lot of the beachhead that I rebuilt with the sand that I gathered out of the park in front of the parking lot, it's gone.
Nueces County Coastal Parks Director Scott Cross had hoped Laura would dump sand onto Padre Island beaches. Instead, the storm took more sand away from the already depleted dunes.
We have a dune system that's wounded and it needs help, but we first got to focus on the beach and the beachhead, and the dune will start taking care of itself.
Hannah weakened the dunes last month, washing away 45 to 50 feet. Nueces County had started rebuilding, but overnight, Laura washed away another 20 or so feet of dune.
You can see where they were starting to build back up. Now they're straight up and down again.
Even though Laura didn't pack the punch many expected, Cross says we were lucky not to take another direct hit.
Even with that type of storm surge, I bet it would have breached several portions of our dune. I've got a couple of spots down here too that are close to being breached from Hannah. It would have breached those.
Now, one thing Cross says Laura did a good job of was reshaping the beach from here on the island all the way to Port Aransas. Now the beach only needs sand. Hopefully it can get some more soon. Reporting live on Padre Island, Greg Chandler, Chris 6 News. Katya?
Let's hope so. All right, Greg, thank you. Officials say the county is working on a plan to rehabilitate the dunes, but for now they are focused on clearing the beach debris.
And all is quiet here in the coastal bend today, but hot. Take a look at our WeatherBug camera downtown looking south. Looks beautiful across the marina there. And 92 degrees, a pretty good breeze at 17 miles an hour. And our winds are going to start to come up. Not because of anything related to Laura, working through Louisiana and now into Arkansas as a tropical storm continuing to weaken with 50-mile-an-hour winds. Left behind a few little showers here and a coastal flood advisory that continues in effect for the region until 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Higher than normal tides on area beaches at high tide. We're at low tide now. There's where the track of Laura went in, just into western Louisiana around Cameron, Louisiana. And as you can see here, we're left over with a few showers in the coastal bend, but nothing too significant across the region. Tomorrow will be dry and hot, really hot. I'll tell you how much and how long it's going to last in a few minutes. Right here. Katya?
Crank up the AC. All right. Thanks, Dale. An elderly Corpus Christi man is missing, and police are hoping that you can help them in finding him. His name is Santos de la Paz, and he's 65 years old. He was reported missing last Friday. Police say he may be on foot. The last time that he was seen was in the 13,000 block of Northwest Boulevard, and he was wearing a gray and green shirt and white shoes. Mr. De La Paz he also has a tattoo on his left forearm, and there is a scar on top of the tattoo. If you've seen him, or maybe you know where he is, call 911. And now here's a look at the very latest numbers from Nueces County from the Health Department. 3 more COVID-19 related deaths were reported today. That's raising our total number of deaths to 339. Now, the 3 who died are all men. One of them in his 50s, another one in his 70s, and the third in his 80s. We also have 92 new cases in Nueces County, sending our total case count to just over 18,500. And cases are also climbing in the neighboring counties of the coastal bend. We do have those numbers for you, and for a detailed look at them, all you have to do is check out our website, christv.com. In Kingsville residents, you've been allowed to put off paying your water bill since March, but that grace period is about to end. Back in March, Claiborne County commissioners waived those bills because of the COVID-19 pandemic. That waiver, though, ends this Tuesday, September 1st. Kingsville residents who have not paid their water bill are being asked to contact the city so that they can arrange a payment plan for you. If not, your water will be shut off. So the number to call is 361-592-5281. And one of Kingsville's most popular events has been canceled because of the pandemic. We're talking about that annual Ranch Hand Breakfast that's held at the King Ranch. The event, held before Thanksgiving, usually attracts thousands of people. La Posada de Kingsville lighted Christmas parade has also been canceled. Efforts, though, are being made to still have downtown Christmas decorations. And the Que Bueno Taco Fest was also to be held next month in downtown Corpus Christi, but that one's also been canceled because of coronavirus concerns. The event helps to raise money for the restoration of the Ritz Theater.